Former National Enquirer editor Barry Levine joins us now. He's also the author of The Spider Inside the Criminal Web of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And also with me, as you can see, Gretchen Carlson, journalist who is also the co-founder of Lift Our Voices. So thanks so much to both of you. Gretchen, I have to start with you because just as Congressman Garcia and I were talking, these town halls are going on around the country where, Congress people have gone home. There's a town hall going on right now with Republican Congressman Mike Flood. He's from Nebraska. And he just got questioned about the Epstein case. So this is ongoing right now. I just want to play an exchange that just happened.
Why are you covering up the Epstein files?
Let's be very clear. At the next pro forma session of the Congress, you'll find my name as a sponsor on a resolution from the House Rules Committee to release the Epstein files to protect the victims and not re-victimize them again. I support Jamie Comer, who is the House's Oversight Committee chairman, subpoenaing Ms. Maxwell later this month to come testify in Washington. I am for the release of those records.
Gretchen, it's the way he said it at the end. I am for the right period after every single word. He wants to be heard loud and clear here. And getting the question the way he got it at this town hall. How serious of an issue is this for Republicans right now who are back in their districts facing voter questions?
It's a huge issue. And a poll just came out today that only 13% of those polled actually think the government is doing a good job in not covering up something here. 67% are upset with the way it's happening, including 60% of those are Republicans. 56% of MAGA is upset with that. And only 1 in 5 are not paying attention to this story, which means that 80% of the American public right now wants more answers. So this is a huge story, not just for Republicans, but of course, you've just heard from a Democrat earlier in the show here. They're pushing for this as well. And the person who keeps perpetuating the idea that this story is going to not go anywhere is the president himself. And he keeps perpetuating the actual story to have life with it because he keeps not being definitive on what he's going to do with Ghislaine Maxwell, for one, and whether or not he's going to release any of this information. Keep in mind, forget the grand jury. He could release all of the other information, the millions of documents, tomorrow if he wanted to.
Right. Yet you've got this subpoena that's been delayed, Barry. I mean, it's fair to say at this point it's been delayed. It could have moved a lot faster. You heard Congressman Garcia, though. He says it's good faith with Chairman Comer, and he's confident the wording is being finalized and it's going to go out in the next couple of days. He said he's been assured that by the chairman. What is happening here? Do you think that there is a fear among Republicans of what's going to happen here?
Well, I certainly think that there's some stonewalling going on. I mean, Gretchen was absolutely right. Donald Trump, at the snap of his fingers, could get these files released, and we wouldn't have to go through all of this. And we're waiting on, all these moves being made to get grand jury testimony that's going to deliver us just a sliver of a tiny bit of information related to this, all of these files. We need to move ahead with this. There are so many questions now, and to me, it appears that there's a cover-up going on with Maxwell in terms of the leniency that she's getting, in terms of the move that was done to Bryan, Texas. The charging documents for her sentencing specifically said she's not to go to a minimum security facility. And that's where she is right now. She's walking around there in a dorm-style place, enjoying herself. This is so wrong.
Gretchen, we live in a world where there's just such a rush to conspiracies and cover up. And yet, in this case, as I said to Congressman Garcia, sometimes when something smells, it smells for a reason. It makes absolutely no sense that Ghislaine Maxwell just got moved to this facility. In an absolute basis, never mind relative to the fact that she just met with the number 2 at the DOJ for 2 long days.
Yeah, that's very concerning to me as well, because I think when Congress is in recess right now, maybe we're waiting for another shoe to drop with regard to what President Trump might do with this. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again. There will be an insurrection if he pardons Ghislaine Maxwell. And it won't just be coming from the left. It'll be coming from the middle of America, the independents. It'll be coming from Republicans, and it'll be coming from MAGA. So I do not advise President Trump to be considering that. And by the way, with regard to subpoenaing Maxwell as well, I don't know what we're going to get from that, to be quite honest. I'm not sure that's paying tribute to the victims, because she has lied under oath twice. She's been convicted of perjury. She knows the only person who can save her at this point is President Trump. So I'm not sure we can believe anything that she says. We should be celebrating the survivors in this situation. They're the reason that we are talking about this story.
Yes. And Barry, you have noted that when we talk about Ghislaine Maxwell, she actually knew Trump before she knew Jeffrey Epstein, and that she also knows a great deal about how close Trump and Epstein were, of course, over many years. And there was a friendship, Barry, that included a party years ago that still stands out to you.
Yeah, as we revisit this, looking back on the, intensity of that relationship that took place, there was a 1992 party in which Donald Trump had 28 young women at a party at Mar-a-Lago. His only guest at that particular party was a man named Jeffrey Epstein. And what's most interesting to me as I revisit the reporting that I did on this story is that the Florida businessman who put this party together at the time for the Calendar Girls competition that took place at Trump casinos, specifically told Donald Trump, this is in 1992, Jeffrey Epstein had only been in Palm Beach for 2 years. He got his mansion there in 1990. This man told Donald Trump, I'm going to ban Jeffrey Epstein from events like this. I don't like him going after younger girls. And he was very concerned about the party on this particular night. And Donald Trump's response, and this is it's been reiterated in an interview to the New York Times. The man said that Trump told him, don't worry, my name is on this, and it's not going to lead to any scandal. So you have to wonder here. Donald Trump knew about Jeffrey Epstein's behavior with younger girls all the way back to 1992. That is astonishing.
All right, well, I appreciate both of you very much being with us. And of course, I will note, as always, that Trump has denied having knowledge of what Epstein was doing and hasn't been accused of wrongdoing himself. And of course, what we want in all cases is to see these files. Thank you both so very much.
This news just coming in to CNN. 2 victims of Jeffrey Epstein have anonymously filed letters weighing in on the Justice Department's request to unseal grand jury testimony in the case. CNN Chief Legal Affairs Correspondent Paula Reed joins us now. Paula, take us through. What do these letters say?
Casey, incredible statements from 2 victims of Jeffrey Epstein here weighing in on the Justice Department's request to release some transcripts from the grand jury in New York that investigated Jeffrey Epstein. Here again, they both want to remain anonymous, but they both express disappointment and hurt over what they say is a lack of accountability in the case and a failure to protect victims. Writing, quote, I wish you would have handled and would handle the whole Epstein files with more respect towards and for the victims. In one letter, a victim says that she believes the Justice Department's priority is protecting the, quote, third party, so wealthy men. She takes a direct shot at President Trump, saying, to learn that our own president has utilized thousands of agents to protect his identity and these high-profile individuals is monumentally mind-blowing. That is their focus? Wow. The victims say their frustration, their anxiety is not aimed at the judge, but directly at the government, the ones asking to release these transcripts, exhibits, etc., of which the victims are not privy to, while they have concluded that there is nothing more to see in these files they hold. They write that the government doesn't even want their input, saying that they would rather ask a convicted, imprisoned sex trafficker abuser for information. That, of course, a direct reference to the Justice Department's meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, I want to note, neither victim is opposed to additional transparency. They want to make sure that every precaution is taken to make sure that victims' identities are protected. In fact, they both appear to be in support of more transparency, saying, why not be completely transparent? Show us all the files with only the necessary redactions, be done with it, and allow me/us to heal. Casey, victims have until tomorrow to weigh in with their thoughts.
All right, Paula Reed, thank you very much for that update.